Today, in addition to Friday's Heroes and Employee of the Week and our Good Samaritan Award, we're signing some really important legislation, and this is bipartisan legislation that we took from the mayor's office to the city council months and months ago. And at this point, we have both bills that have been passed, one unanimously at the city council, which is the Women's Pay Equity Initiative, and one with on an 8-to-1 vote. So very good bipartisan support for these bills that I'll be signing today, and both of these are important for women in Albuquerque, and I'll tell you why. We'll start with the Women's Pay Equity Initiative. Decades ago, the federal government passed a law that basically mandated that women should make the same as men for doing the same job. Absolutely critical legislation. Decades later, women in the United States make 23% less than men for doing the same job. And that's not right, and we can do better. And so with the signing of this bill today, it's my understanding that we'll be the first city in the country to pass legislation to incentivize women's pay equity in the workplace. And here's how it's going to work. I've got two bills to sign. One of the bills basically changes the city ordinance that says if you do business with the city, we're going to collect data from your company just like you would do if you were a vendor for the state or the federal government, who do this already, but no cities do this. We're going to ask you to show us some of your data, nothing that will give you a competitive disadvantage, but just show us what people in your company make so that we can do a study on women's pay initiatives. We've already done this at the city of Albuquerque. We find that we do much better than the national average and much better than the state average as a city, but we're still, I think it was a 6% pay equity disadvantage, and so we're going to continue working on that at the city of Albuquerque. But we want to collect that data. And then the second bill is to set up a task force, a 5-member task force, both appointed by the mayor's office and the city council, to then take that data and study how we can best put incentives in place. So think about it this way. We have initiatives right now where if you are a local business, you have an advantage in the bidding process for the city of Albuquerque compared to someone who's not local. Well, we want to take women's pay equity and put that at the same level as being local. So the businesses that are able to show us after the task force over the next 9 to 12 months determines what that barrier or that bar will look like, what the goal is. If you meet that criteria, you will receive an advantage for bidding at the city of Albuquerque, and that could be anything from construction companies to legal firms to law firms to CPA firms to those who supply office furniture and office goods, you name it. And we think that this is going to be something that will catch on nationally. We think it's easy to do. We're going to do it with a carrot versus a stick because the stick hasn't worked so well over time, and we're going to show folks that we can do that in the city of Albuquerque. So that'll be one of the bills that I'm signing, and I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. We've invited all the female councilors, past and present, to be with us today. We have our new city councilor Diane Gibson with us today from District 7, Clarissa Pena, our new District 1 representative, District 3 representative that's here with us today. We'd also like to thank Roxana Myers, Janice Arnold-Jones. They were the two sponsors of the Women's Pay Equity Initiative. We'd like to thank Councilor Ken Sanchez, and I believe Roxana Myers also was the sponsor of the prostitution booting bill. And that's the second bill we'll be signing. And here's what it does. Over 100 cities and counties already around the country have determined that one of the very best ways to fight human trafficking and to fight prostitution in their cities is to go after those who solicit those services. We have lots and lots of bills and lots of laws on the books right now to go after women and men who are involved in the prostitution trade, and to go after pimps, if you will, and those who exploit those who are vulnerable in our community. But we don't have a lot of ways to go after those who are actually buying these services, who are promulgating the need for this human trafficking. And if you talk to families who have had members of their family who have been forced into prostitution, it's an absolutely horrible thing, and we're going to start tackling it in a very smart way in Albuquerque. And here's how it's going to work. If you are someone in the city of Albuquerque and you think it's a good idea to solicit a prostitute, you're most likely going to run into one of our sting operations from the Albuquerque Police Department. And when you do that, we're going to take your vehicle just like we would on a DWI, and we're going to have a hearing officer take a look at the arrest within several days. And if it's determined to be a valid arrest at that point by the hearing officer, your car is going to get booted. Just like it would in a DWI arrest, and that's going to cost you somewhere around $1,000. And if you're on a second or third offense on this, it's most likely that your car is going to be held for a period of time to where it will most likely be forfeited. So we just want to make sure that in Albuquerque we make it less attractive to engage in the act of human trafficking, because let's be honest, that's what this is. And so we think we're not the first city in the country to do this. As I said, there's over 100 cities and counties that already do this. We think it's the right thing to do for those in Albuquerque who are being exploited. And so those are the bills that we're going to sign today. Thank you to the new councilors for joining us. We're going to need your help getting the task force going, making sure that it's viable, that we come up with great incentives for the pay initiatives, and we look forward to working with you in the coming years. And thanks to all the advocates. So we have our Human Rights Office here. Gabe Campos is our director of our brand new Human Rights Office that we just really reinvented, in my opinion, several months ago. Annabelle Romero is the deputy director for the Human Rights Office as well. And we just got lots of folks that are interested in making Albuquerque a great place for women to work, to thrive, to have their careers really bolster their careers and foster their career development, and make it a bad place for those who want to exploit the vulnerable in our community. So with that, I'm just going to sign the bills, and then we have folks that will be able to talk to you one-on-one if you'd like to do that. Thanks everybody for your help. It's a good day.